Chapter 14, Tayul. Sunny comes into the house with Uncle's lunchbox in her hand. I'm in the sitting room with Julie. Amoni's in the courtyard, covering the kimchi jar. We all see her come in. Sunny looks at Julie. Uncle says he won't be coming home tonight. Her voice is shaking like she might start crying any second. He'll be away for a while. He doesn't know how long. Abjui closes his eyes. He doesn't say anything at first, then speaks without opening them. If anybody should ask, we should tell the truth. We do not know where my brother's gone, or when he'll be back. We do not know. That is all any of you need to say. He opens his eyes and looks at us hard. And whatever happens tonight, you're not to leave the house. When he says those last words, he's looking right at me. He doesn't seem surprised. Upset maybe, but not surprised. The same for Amoni. They don't ask Sunhee even a single question. It's almost like they expected this. Whatever happens tonight. What's going to happen tonight? Sunhee looks scared. She catches my eye and slips out the back door. I follow her a few minutes later. She's crouching in the middle of a vegetable garden pulling weeds. The sun's almost gone, but there's still enough light to see. We work for a few minutes, side by side. I know she's dying to ask questions, but she waits a little before saying, Uncle said you're to tell me what you know. I don't know everything, I said. And what I do know, I found out only yesterday. I wasn't keeping it a secret from you, honest. I just hadn't found the right time to tell you. It's the truth. She looks doubtful, but nods for me to continue. Uncle works for the resistance, I tell her, for the illegal independence movement. He's been working with them for a while now. At night, when no one's around, he prints a resistance newspaper. That's why he's forcing himself to be on good terms with the Japanese customers, to make them think that he's Chimilapa, so they won't suspect him. The relief I felt when I learned this yesterday. Uncle isn't Chinilpa. He's only pretending to be, so well that he even fooled me. I should have known better. I should have never doubted him. Sunhee is so quiet. I wonder if she's heard me. I look over at her. Her face is grim in the dim light. Finally, she whispered, what else do you know? I tell her that Uncle said that the police were hanging around the shop a lot for no reason. He thought they suspected him and that something might happen. But so soon? I don't think he thought it would be so soon. My turn to ask questions. Did he say where he was going? She shakes her head. Into hiding, I said, thinking hard. It's a big movement. He must have friends who will help him. But how did he find out? I mean, how did he know he should escape tonight? Sunhee says, I told him. I looked at her, my mouth open. I can't believe it. She told him? How did she know? She speaks again quickly. I mean, not because I knew. I didn't know anything. But Tomo came to see me tonight. He told me. I whistled between my teeth. Tomo, I would have never guessed. Oppa, do our parents know about all this? I hesitate. She pushes out her lips. Uncle said you could tell me everything. All right, I say. Our parents know that Uncle works for the resistance, but that's all. Uncle doesn't want them to know anything more than that, and I think that suits Abjui just fine. He prefers it that way. I can feel my throat tightening a little, but I keep talking. Abjui also told Uncle to leave me out of it, but Uncle told me anyways because he said it was important for me to know. Sunhee guess. I know what she's thinking. Uncle's going against Abjui's wishes? Sunhee, I don't mean to be disrespectful to Abjui, my words come slowly, but it's like he's blind to what's happening here. He goes to work, he comes home and buries himself into his books. He doesn't care about what the Japanese are doing to us. As long as he can study his books, that's all that matters to him. Now she looks almost ill, hearing me talk about Abjui like that. And she whispered, Opa, surely Abjui's only trying to protect Uncle. That's his job, to keep us all safe. I stand, take a few steps away from her, and clench and unclench my fists. It's so hard to say what's in my head. I turn back toward her. What Uncle and the others like him are doing. It's more important than anything. We aren't Japanese, we're Korean. But we'll never be allowed to truly be Koreans unless we have our independence. Uncle said these things to me only yesterday. And yet, as soon as he said them, I felt as though I've known them all along, all my life. Sunhee shakes her head and frowns. More important than family, she asked, but it's not one of her usual whiny little sister questions. She's thinking hard, I can tell. Our duty to Abjui is important, I say. It's part of our culture. But if the Japanese have their way, someday there won't be any such thing as our culture. When Uncle works for independence, he works for the right for us to live as Abjui wants us to. Do you see what I mean? I'm not sure of myself as I try to sound. Confusing. Uncle acting like Chinilpa when he's not. Tomo, the son of an important Japanese official, helping a resistance worker. Uncle disobeying Abjui in order to be able to obey him one day. I can't fully understand how can she? I walk back toward her, reach out my hand so I can pull her to her feet. We better go in now, I say. Sunhee, we shouldn't talk about this anymore unless it's truly necessary. And don't trust anyone, not even Tomo. He's helped us this once, but it can't have been easy for him, and who knows if he'll be sorry that he did. She looked shunned. She hadn't thought about that. Poor kid. We go back inside, sit down, and pretend to study. After only a few moments, the megaphone blares, a neighborhood accounting night. They're almost always in the daytime. It's about Uncle, I know it. They've raided his shop, and now they're searching for him. Abjui looks it. His face is calm, but serious as well. He's telling us to be calm, too. Sunhee leaves quickly to fetch Mrs. An. We go outside and line the street. So many soldiers, lots more than usual. People are looking around, wondering. We save the place for Mrs. An. She's taking Sunhee a while to bring her out. Omni turns to me. You better go see, she starts to say. But then Sunhee and Mrs. An hurry up to us. I look at Sunhee and she slips in line next to me. I couldn't find her at first, she whispered. She didn't answer the door. Then I found her in the garden. Sure enough, on the other side of me, Mrs. An is fussing about the dirt on her hands, using a corner of her apron to wipe them. We number off. The Black Leader starts talking, the usual spiel about His Majesty's Imperial Forces. I'm dreading what he'll say next about Uncle. He'll probably call him a traitor. I wish he'd get it over with. Metal, the Black Leader says, by order of the Emperor and the army, is commandeering all household objects made of metal. It's necessary for supplies, so His Majesty's Imperial Forces can continue to spread his divine message to all people. Return to your homes. And collect all your metal. You may keep a few things, basic cooking tools, a shovel, an axe, scissors, and needles. Everything else you must bring to your front gate. Next to me, Sunhee makes a choking noise, turns towards me, and grabs my arm. She looks so pale, I'm afraid she might faint. They want metal? What about Uncle? Is he in danger? Or has he gone into hiding for no reason?